We're starting the KFFL show, week 1 show. I'm James, aka Playmakers, and I'm here with...
I'm Frank, casual standby, fan of the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Alrighty. First week of football feels like Christmas and we're back.
Yeah, I am glad to be back watching football. That's for sure. So what'd you think about these first week games?
Man, so one thing that I noticed is there's 9 underdogs that won in this week's first
9?
week. Oh, well, like 9 teams are considered underdogs by betting standards in Vegas. If you would have cashed out all 9, drew down $5, you would have made $35K on these teams.
Dang, was the Raiders one of them?
The Raiders was one of them. Pittsburgh was one of them.
Oh, was it?
I considered them an underdog.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I consider them a bit.
To the Buffalo Bills,
They didn't show up like I thought they was going to show up.
A lot of defenses came in and did the work, and a lot of offenses we didn't think would do the work blew us away. Let's start with who we're starting with first this week.
All right. So week 1 is Army versus Playmakers. Scores 122 to 116.2. Army beat me just barely. How many points is that? 4 points?
6 points on an especially in a 2-quarterback league where Josh Allen underperformed.
Yeah, but he didn't underperform like Aaron Rodgers did.
No. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, and then I lost Mostert for the year because you heard that he went on IR for the whole year now.
Yeah, so that's big loss.
So yeah, that's our Army has scored just enough points to win, and good luck to him, I guess.
Well, even with the right pieces, he even picked up Brady and Gronkowski, who always perform very well together. Wasn't enough to beat Army. Besides Russell Wilson, Montgomery, even Josh Allen with only scoring up to a field goal in the first half of that Pittsburgh game, still lost by 6.
Still lost by 6. Yeah, had Tyler Lockett too. He had 22 points. Still lost by 6.
Yeah, let's see who those wide receivers are. There's gotta be people picking up the points in the middle.
Yeah, he must have. If you click on it, you should be able to pull up the.
Yep, that's who it is. DJ Clark on Jacksonville.
Metcalf had a pretty decent game. Montgomery had a really nice game too.
He must have been Trevor's only target for that game if he was focusing on him. As much as they barely scored.
Yes, it was enough. Enough for him.
Hey man, beats even fancy.
Yep. So Army starts off 1-0. I start off 0-1. That's always fun to start off losing in the season.
Great pieces on both teams. Josh Allen's going to perform even better. You can see him getting more points later in the season. He's not just a 17-point guy. He's supposed to be projected the top fantasy quarterback this year.
Yeah, Josh Allen was Army's number 1 pick, which he did underperform, but it's still not too bad. 17 points is still he's still able to pull it out. My number 1 pick, McCaffrey, got 18.7, and that's actually really good because he didn't score no touchdown. That's a lot of points.
That's all running.
Yeah.
That's 188 yards of bullshitting.
We was running and receiving.
Oh shoot.
I think he had just as many receiving yards as he had rushing yards. So let's go to the next matchup, which is
Moose versus Mafia.
Yep. And Mafia's the new guy of the league. And Mafia took down Moose as a old veteran of the league. 115.3 to 104.5. Look at this team. Mafia's number 1 pick, Nick Chubb, pretty much carried his team.
Consistent running back the last few years has been at least averaging doing over 16 points a game.
Yeah, Nick Chubb. Maybe even I didn't think Nick Chubb is as good as he is, but he's pretty good. He's fresh. He's pretty consistent for fantasy football.
On the Browns being the main running back, only being next to who's that guy that used to be?
Kareem Hunt is with him.
That's what I'm talking about. Kareem Hunt also runs with the ball,
but they both get points. It's a pretty decent running team right there. So Moose had an excellent game from Winston, but everybody else pretty much didn't show up on his team.
I'm more surprised Baker Mayfield only had 12.6. That game was so close up until the 4th quarter.
Yeah, but when you don't throw any TDs, that hurts the quarterback a lot. I mean, look at Matt Ryan for Mafia. no TDs and no yards. That gives you 7.2.
James Winston. I don't know if he's having just a monster game against the Packers or just the Packers weren't there at all.
But he only threw for 148 yards, so that makes me think that was kind of a fluke game. I don't know if that's happening again.
He's got to be there in lucky spots to make those touchdown passes.
All right, let's go to the next matchup. What we got there? Bounty Hunters versus Big Green Meanies. And Bounty Hunters had 154.7, Meanies 108.5. Meanies is last year's champs. Me and Meanies both went 10-3, but I lost first round of playoffs. Meanie made it all the way through. It's not starting off so great right now, though.
Man, Patrick Mahomes over 30 points. That's freaking impressive. And Tyreek Hill. His top two performers are from the Kansas City Chiefs for the Bounty Hunters.
Yep, and Hunters, that's his number one pick is Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, he came through big time.
That's a solid quarterback right there. That's like on the level of doing like a Tom Brady or picking up a Drew Brees for consistency, which Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers supposed to be in that same wheelhouse, but I guess not.
Don't know. Even Matthew Stafford's looking even better than him.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford had a great game, but Meanies had a big fat 0. You see that with his receiver? What's his name? Something to
receiver.
It's the 49ers receiver. And yeah, he was supposed to.
Was he getting no targets?
But he barely even got in the game. I don't understand what happened with that receiver, because last year he was actually doing really well, especially towards the end of the season last year. But yep, he got a big fat 0 from that guy, and then he got a 2.2 from Aaron Jones. That's his number one pick. When your number one pick throws a dud, it like destroys the rest of the team. I feel like.
Yeah, he was projected at least 10, 11.7 for sure. Yeah. Only 2 points for fantasy. That's your dud of the week, thanks to another person, dudding out.
Well, it almost was, but it's not as big as a gap as somebody else here. We'll say it at the end.
We'll say it at the end.
All right, so the next matchup, we got Pigeons versus Nothing is Sacred. And holy smack, Postos scored 142.7, Nothing Sacred 79.
man, those two quarterbacks back to back, barely breaking 20. When Kyler Murray just adds up both of them on his own, he takes up, and he has Jalen Hurts. Kills it over 61 61 points with just two quarterbacks.
It's crazy. And Postal's always known he loves getting the running quarterbacks, and he always finds that good second running quarterback. Like, it's easy to get the first good runner, but the second one you gotta take a chance. And he must did his homework, because Jalen Hurts destroyed.
He's the guy in Philly. They destroyed the Atlanta Falcons. I didn't even think that was gonna be that much. No. I thought that game might have been at least somewhat close.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Or at least the Falcons would put up at least more than 10 points, but no.
I didn't watch a lot of. See, that's my problem. I should have watched more preseason. So I'm still feeling like the teams are, from last year.
Well, we got a little sneak preview of Jalen Hurts the last 4 weeks last year. Towards the end of Carson Wentz's tenure there.
Yeah, I thought he did all right.
Yeah, we didn't expect this.
Yeah.
And then Kyler Murray, this dude's fun to watch. I've been saying that since the last year. He's fun to watch. He'll make the play. Now he's got so many weapons out there, and dude's so fast to run up and down the field.
He's like you said, it's like a video game character.
He'll make the play. It's like you're running the stick. He'll make it happen. Y'all talking about Lamar Jackson being the cheat code 2 years ago? Y'all were wrong. Kyler Murray's the new cheat code.
And I always say Kyler Murray has an advantage over Lamar Jackson, because him being so small and low to the ground, the chances of him getting his legs undercut is real small. Matter of fact, chances of him just getting hurt, period, I think is just smaller than like a Lamar Jackson.
But the sad thing is, if he were to get one good hit, which I don't know if that happens anymore these days.
Oh, like one good crush, like he's just running down the field. Crush. It could happen, because he's always running. You never know.
Lose him easy this year. Risky, fast man.
Yeah. But in the meantime, Kyle Murray is going to rack up the fantasy points.
I think he might be the best quarterback for the season. I think he might be Josh Allen.
To be honest with you, man, I had number 3 pick, and my choices was Kyle Murray or Christian McCaffrey. Those are the two that I was deciding. And I went with McCaffrey. I'm still kind of glad.
That's confident going.
Yeah, he's the best running back by far. But
in my opinion, like at one point, drafting was a run game about 3-4 years ago, and you would pick the running back first. But this is a 2 quarterback league.
Yeah, well, most people did pick the running backs first, but yeah, since it is a 2-quarterback league, the top quarterbacks are going first as well.
Like Kyler Murray.
Yep.
That's a diamond in the rough. This dude's going to be on the level with what should be Brady, Breeze, Aaron Rodgers if he gets it together.
Like I said, he's predicted to be number one. Well, he's not predicted, but he's like some people's predictions. They have him up there. Patrick Mahomes is actually one.
He's going to do better than Josh Allen.
Maybe. We'll find out. It's the last matchup. We got the Swine Riders versus the Bunnies. And then the Swine Riders won 139.3 to 83.5.
He picked up two good pieces together because that Thursday night game between Dak Prescott and Mark Cooper, like linking up, that was a lot of great chemistry. Thinking, man, he showed up for his first game back in about a year.
Yeah, Dak Prescott did impress me. He played better than I thought he was going to play because his injury was nasty.
It was Tommy John's, wasn't it?
Well, it's just the way it looked. If you saw it on the field, like his whole ankle was like...
Oh, wait, no, that was his leg, right?
Yeah, it was like separated from, the bone was like off to the side. It wasn't poking out of his skin, but it was still detached. Like, it looked nasty. But he came back.
Hasn't skipped the beat. You just gotta make sure he has a good O-line protecting him and keep stacking up his points.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good team. His number one pick, Kamara, scored 15.1, which it's still pretty decent, but Kamara has definitely the capability to get in the 20s and 30s.
We've seen him get there, especially on Christmas Day. He did 5 touchdowns on his own.
Bunny's number one pick was Delvin Cook, who got 14.4, which is... It was okay, but it's that fumble is what kind of dropped her point a little. And Cook didn't really run that much, but I guess it was more like during the game.
No, I'm looking at he only has 83 points. The only thing I'm looking at underperforming, Stephon Diggs underperforming really hurt him when it was supposed to be a...
Well, and Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah,
Fitzpatrick, hurt on the hit. Yeah, and he only got 0.6. When you get 0.6 from your quarterback, it's almost a guaranteed loss in this league because quarterbacks score so much. They get between like 15 to 20 points apiece.
Good old Fitzmagic. It looks like he's running out of it. But Joe Burrow, nice game. Fun game. Got to see him playing again after getting hurt last year. Stephon Diggs could have more points if that was such a heavy defense game. But DeAndre Hopkins, that's his best player of the week.
DeAndre Hopkins and then Riders. Riders just had hit after hit after hit on his team.
Defense only scored 0.
And the Ravens got negative 0.5. They didn't do so hot on the defense side on things.
Man.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you let them shoot the Raiders. I can't believe the Ravens let the Raiders come back and beat them.
Big L's for both people on fantasy this week, Bills and Ravens, but also Raiders defense showed up and showed everyone what they're about, especially with Max Crosby with sacks and stripping the ball and getting hurt 2 years ago. He's a great player.
Yep. All right, well, that's pretty much it for all the matchups. One of the things I wanted to create going on was having an MVP of the week and having a dog of the week.
And we're talking about our MVP of the week. You know who our MVP of the week? Let's get it on. Okay. MVP of the week is Kyler Murray. Highest scoring quarterback, most fun to watch this weekend. Take over, carve up the Tennessee Titans, which we did not expect Tennessee being taken so easily.
Yep, scoring 33.4 points. That's a pretty nice score right there. And then the dog of the week. And then this is how I calculate the dog of the week. I actually use a little math instead of just being the lowest scoring fan. Because I was going to do the lowest scoring, but then I thought, you put in somebody that was only projected to score 5 and they score 1 point. That's not as big a loss. If you got somebody projected to score about 18 points and they score 1.2 points, and I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers.
To get a quarterback rating above 38, all you have to do is spike the ball straight to the ground the whole game.
What was his rating? 0?
He made it like 32 or 34. Aaron Rodgers, do better.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing. The dog can't be somebody who got injured during the game. I'll never count that because that's not their fault. Like Fitzpatrick,
old man.
Well, I mean, it's kind of their fault, but it's not. But no, I'm not gonna count. And so yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers did a worse job. At least Fitzpatrick tried this week. He went on the field and tried.
He had an excuse. Aaron Rodgers had no excuses except for. And I watch McKay or
Pat McCaffrey
And
show.
so
He went on Tuesday.
Yep, and he was talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it was just a crappy, bad game from the get-go." So I'm expecting them to have a monster game this upcoming Sunday.
Were they playing the Lions?
Yes.
How can you not?
He better.
How can you not?
He better make up for that 1.2. It's his fault I lost. I blame it on him. He'd have just got his average. I would have won.
We would have had like a decent second quarterback. But the other thing that drives me nuts, like I'm a Pittsburgh fan, and I actually like Aaron Rodgers. The fact that like you make me seem stupid for liking you, I'm just,
Yeah, I'm real disappointed. All right, well, let's go over the standings real quick, which, you know what, we ain't gonna go over the standings. I'm just gonna put a little graphic up here, standings, and then they can
good job,
just take a
number
look.
one. Whoever
Yeah.
you are, you're the best.
We'll talk about standings more when there's more games. Right now, it seems kind of either one
Week
and
one's
over.
a toss-up.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some weird shit happening in week one. Someone's gonna get hurt. Someone's gonna have a standout game. Then come week two matchups.
This is almost like a fantasy football preseason because we got 17 games now, so you can afford to just have
rush off one week.
Yeah,
This is our bullshit week. We're all having fun,
right.
Games that stood out to you this week. Anything stand out to you or players?
You mean like upcoming games?
Well, this past week and then upcoming.
Well, this past week, I mean, besides like the Kyle Murrays and the Matthew Staffords,
Dak Prescott. This has been a high scoring game for quarterbacks.
Yeah, you know what's also standing out is running backs. Man, there's not a lot of
run games.
You know, and there's definitely not a lot of like one like carry the whole team type of running backs.
It's like because we used to. Back when we were looking at running backs more 4 years ago, we were looking at Le'Veon Bell, Christian McCaffrey, Kareem Hunt when he was on the Chiefs.
Yep.
And then like Leonard Fournette, those were your desired pieces at the beginning.
People that would just run at least the first two downs at all times. Now it's like almost all the teams are committee based. And
now you're using running backs just to get the first down.
Yep.
You're not really getting to kick the Jets and go down the field.
But you know, another thing that's starting to pop up is dual quarterbacks. Because not only did the Bears do it with Fields, the Niners did do it with Trey Lance. Trey Lance got like 5 passes. Justin Fields scored a touchdown.
I saw that. And people, have you seen Uncut Gems? You know that scene where it's like, why would you show me something if I can't have it? Every Bears fan watching Justin Fields do one play. Why? Why? I want more of that. Get this mustache Andy Dalton out of here.
No, coach said he's giving him one more week.
I can't believe they're doing this rotate quarterback thing. You know, like we're just.
That's gonna be a new. I hope it don't turn into a new thing. Dual quarterback.
I don't want to watch dual quarterback. This is fun for fans.
Yeah, it's fun for fans. It's not actually fun for watching.
It's not. I'm not gonna be like, man, I'm gonna have to buy 2 quarterback jerseys this season.
Yeah, and then the Saints. The Saints are doing it too, aren't they? With the what's that guy?
Did we see him put on that other kid out there?
Hill. Oh, did Hill not go out?
Was it Tyler Hill or Tyler Hill?
Something like that. Oh, maybe he didn't play. I know
sure.
last year he did, but maybe I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the Saints. I just assumed he was doing it. But yeah, the dual quarterbacks got to go.
Well, yeah, we're not, a couple weeks from now, that's not gonna last.
Yeah, there's no way.
We're gonna shy away from that, hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, let's check it out. My surprises: Dallas offense, Cardinals offense, Eagles offense.
Were you really surprised by the Cardinals offense? They had a good offense last year.
No, well, they had a good offense, but then they got JJ Watt on defense, and they have a good.
Yeah, because they're running. Remember,
else?
Because they lost Kenyon Drake, but they picked up Connor, and they got
James Conner,
and then they have Chase Edmonds. Those are the 2 running backs. I mean, really,
I think I'm just more impressed seeing how much they went off on the Tennessee Titans.
That's what it really is.
They could keep this up every week. They could be the new.
But Kyle Murray was good last year, and because they were scoring on him and Hopkins, and pretty much.
They just had a tough schedule because they didn't make the playoffs last year.
And they didn't start off well. They started off bad last year.
Now the chemistry's there. Other than that, defenses are the game this year. Pittsburgh's defense saved their butts. Who's in their defense that saved their butt this week? The Raiders' defense.
Yeah, somehow.
Saved that game. When I started watching the fourth quarter, it was like
It was just that one guy. What was his name again?
Max Crosby,
Yeah.
sacks and strips going in there. Man, this game was like 7-17 when I got into watching the fourth quarter. Ends up being this whole fucking mess at the end.
I was mad
overtime.
because I turned it off. You know, I thought, I got other stuff to do.
I started tuning in. That's when I tuned in America.
Did you watch the Manning Monday night thing? So Manning and his brother they were watching the Monday Night Football game and they had it on the big screen, and then they were like picture in picture on the side.
And then they had Russell Wilson hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I saw all this stuff online the day after. I did not know that was happening. When I knew that was happening, I'm a big Peyton Manning fan.
Yeah.
He's very entertaining for TV, him and his brother.
Yeah, I saw the highlight reel online. I missed it too, but I'm definitely going to watch it this year or next week.
Especially the snipe he had on Russell Wilson's wife wearing the ring.
Yeah, that was clever. That was like that's what he's looking at. He's looking at the Super Bowl ring.
Man, you know how I felt 8 years ago sitting on that couch being like, man, he's not getting that ring. He's probably like, I'm not getting that ring.
You could tell Peyton Manning seems like, he doesn't necessarily want to play football, but I feel like he'd be a good coach because he's so into it.
He loves it. He's atmosphere. He's a football atmospheric guy.
At least, he don't even have to be the head coach. He can just be out there, motivating the players and stuff.
Man, a cheerleader out there, cheerleader Peyton Manning.
Maybe that'll get you hyped up.